Off an invite to Bobby, and we will get going. Hold on. Okay. One second. I see Bobby in there. He's got a. Okay. Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, everybody? I'm only going to be here for about 25 minutes because I've got way too much on the line tonight to have to edit my lineups. But so we should probably get right to it.
Okay.
What do you think? So the Utah situation, we just can't do anything until we get the official word on all these guys, and it's just there's nothing to do about that right now. Just wait, and we need a starting lineup. It's more of an argument to fade the first game, which I think the value is a little bit suspect. But I have 5 big lineups tonight. I have one with DeJounte Murray, one with Bryn Forbes, and one with Lonnie Walker, and 20% Embiid. I do like Curry and Harris, but I think there's just too much you're giving up by doing that. I think Korkmaz is actually a better play than he's getting credit for too, but it's hard to play him over Tim Hardaway Jr. with the situation the way it is in Dallas.
So I think there are 3 main value teams that you're going to have to figure out what to do with, and that would be Utah, San Antonio, and Dallas. That seems pretty fair, right?
Yep.
And like Bobby said, the Utah situation really. Okay, so yes, depends on starters, but more to the point, it depends on like people playing. You know, like if Hassan Whiteside is in, he's starting. You know what I mean? Like if Rudy Gay is in, he's starting. If Jordan Clarkson is in, he's starting. I presume. And then we just have to see what they do with guys like Trent Forrest. I presume Royce O'Neal is going to start too, right?
Well, yeah, O'Neal will definitely start. He's the only one I have as the definite starter, but I would imagine, I mean, if Whiteside's in, he's going to start. I would be surprised. Right. And Clarkson, unless they want to try and do something funny and use Jared Butler to start and then bring Clarkson in after like 5 minutes, that's one thing that could happen. But he'll still.
And the other guy I would mention with San Antonio, just because he's showing up here, but the guy who set is the Keita Bates Diop.
Yeah, it's so thin compared to every other play, but I mean, he can get there. It's just on the first game. Even the other ones, I don't feel great about. They have bodies, and they are far. I mean, yeah, there's 3 teams, but Utah is far ahead of the other teams in terms of the value. So,
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
On the Dallas guys, I still have them rated the same. I have Brunson, and then Kleber, Hardaway, then Powell, and DFS.
Yeah, I like. I would go Brunson, Hardaway, Powell. I'm sorry, Brunson, Hardaway, DFS. You say Powell?
Yeah.
Yeah, 0 interest in Powell or Kleber.
Oh, really?
I'll have Kleber in maybe a lineup or something, but yeah, I don't see any reason to play Dwight Powell on this kind of a slate at center.
Well, it certainly, if it works, like if you could somehow get Whiteside to fail,
then you should just be playing 2 good centers. I think. I don't think there's any reason. I actually, I mean, like even if he gets there, I don't care because it's. I just know it's the wrong play. There's nothing especially special about the situation. We just saw Dwight Powell in the situation put up 18 fantasy points. He never plays many minutes. Sure, it could happen, but he's not like he's going to get like offensive usage because these guys are gone. So I don't see Powell as being viable.
All right. So how do you rate these spend ups again between Jokic, Harden, Durant, and LBJ and Embiid?
Jokic 1, The real hard thing is we got to just talk about positions because because Whiteside's going to be in most of your lineups if you're playing, if he's in, you're playing Whiteside, so that takes up a center spot. So the other guys are going to get more of a boost, but otherwise, I would love Embiid and Jokic, but I just think it's playing with fire to try to play both of them and not play, the value of Whiteside. I'm fading Whiteside in a couple lineups, and I will double center those lineups, but they'll be with like Christian Wood and Jokic or Christian Wood, and then I'll make a little 3-man Dallas stack or something in those lineups. For the centers, so the centers are behind everybody else. Harden would be number 2. Harden would be number 2 or 3, depending on whether you need the extra 800. But I like Giannis a lot, and I like Harden a lot. I think Durant is just after them, and then I think LeBron, and speculating on Trey, who will be completely unowned, just 100% unowned, is probably. I'm probably going to gamble on that. And in those lineups, you probably want to try to get in if you want to play Nas Little or Anthony Simons, play the late guys so you have switchability.
Yeah, I really like again just eyeballing it. These studs and their ownerships, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to play either Giannis or LeBron. Those are my 2 favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron is always good because he could put him in that small forward position.
Yeah.
And obviously you don't want to play Giannis in the center position. Put him in power forward, but you'll do that for you, right? And those are the 2 of the studs that have under 20%, and the other one, and I have Embiid at 13 actually. And the other one I would mention is that I really like what you said. I mean, I want to play LeBron and Trey. That's what I think I want to do.
Yeah, those are definitely my least favorite, but I think that they'll be the lowest owned too.
And they'll be the lowest owned in the same game.
Yeah, in a good game environment and all that stuff. And the only thing is we really don't know. We just don't know
about Trey. Trey narrative in Mamba's house. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, it's something. I mean, if it's close, you'll probably want to play, right?
It's playing the Lakers, like
right.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I would assume he's going to play, but I can't speak to that for sure. I don't know how bad off he is.
Right. And as far as mid-range guys, we talked about the value, talked about the spend ups. As far as mid-range guys, I still like Brunson, and he's part of the Dallas. But aside from those teams, aside from those teams, the closest thing I have to play is Christian Wood, and he unfortunately takes up a center spot.
Yeah, just play him on FanDuel. I do have a lineup with Wood in it, but it's not one of my big ones.
And then somebody asked about Portland. Anthony Simons, he's a little too owned for me at 8. I mean, if 18% is representative, I don't think I need to do that today.
Definitely don't need to. Yeah.
Here are some low-owned guys that are just below the guys we talked about. I want to get rid of the centers though, but I mean, I can't really play Tobias Harris, right?
Probably
not.
He's viable.
I'll tell you who I like is what somebody just brought up. Someone said if Trey is out, he could swap to what do you think about Westbrook at like 2% on DraftKings?
Just so far behind the other guys.
Yeah, he is.
But I do like him, but like I mean, there's just it's you don't want guys squeezing out a 60. You want guys who you feel like are comfortably going to be around 60, and there's plenty
like Jokic and whoever, right?
Like Jokic, Harden,
and Giannis.
Yeah, I've got two of my 5 big lineups have Giannis, one with Harden, one with Durant on the other side, and then 2 of my big 5 have Jokic and one has Embiid right now. I don't currently have. I probably will get the LeBron Trey one back, but I took it out just because it's just a lot of money to put on the line for a guy who may not play.
Right.
I don't see any, like, there's no narrative. It's a good matchup. Like, you know what I mean? It's playing in LA. That's always a narrative, but I don't see why for Trey Young, it's anything special compared to anybody else who comes in there. Like Devin Booker has come in there plenty of times and he's Kobe's biggest obsessed guy. And he's had some great games and then some poor games. And I don't know.
I think what he was more doing is, I don't know about the narrative, but just saying, if we're wondering whether he's going to play or not, that would just give him a little more incentive to play. Then he was going into Oklahoma City or whatever. Actually, Oklahoma City would love to play. I don't mean to use Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City, he would freaking roll off a wheelchair to play that one.
There you go. There's a narrative I could get behind.
Yeah.
I am going to double check because I'm pretty sure that we have the ESPN games as Milwaukee, Brooklyn, and Atlanta. So if Atlanta and the Lakers, we should know a little bit earlier because of that with Trey, unless they just officially restate that he's a game time decision. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks pretty, I want to say straightforward, but it looks like we've analyzed the crap out of this. You know what I mean? Like, and we're just waiting now on a couple of things, right? Once again, just to sum up, I'm waiting for Utah news and starters, right? And we're waiting on, we're waiting on Trey. We're waiting on Trey for a long time, probably.
Yeah. The Utah thing is massive. I mean, there's no way to overstate that, how important that is. In a large field, not the high buy-in stuff, I think that you can take a shot on Josh Primo.
Ooh, yeah, back to him, huh?
But I don't love this idea of playing these early guys, like, as much as I can possibly help it. And I think that there is a ceiling for them, but I don't think this is like we've seen the Spurs do this a million times. It's not like they have to go out there and do anything really. So that's to answer that question. I do have what do I have? 12% Lonnie Walker and 8% Bryn Forbes, and that's where I'm at on those two.
Sensei Jay has another good question. If Utah gets blown out, is it possible Clarkson gets pulled since he's a regular rotation guy?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
But you can't,
So you would think then that the premier plays, if you could put it this way,
even if they get blown out, the premier play is still Clarkson.
Oh, okay.
Clarkson and Whiteside.
Because I was going to say is that it would be logical if you got like a starting role for like Trent Forrest or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing Trent Forrest anyway, but
I mean he rates to be in there in most game environments, right?
Yeah, and then you get Butler. The only place I'm fading Clarkson at the moment, I have Butler as the point guard off the bench as the other guy who I am playing. But this is giving us all the more reason why to fade the first game as much as possible. Every minute that clicks by, because we really need to know about the Utah guys. And there's a lot of speculation about Rudy Gay today. It does seem weird that you would go to another country, especially one that's incredibly as strict as they are, and that you wouldn't play, but you'd be available, but because of conditioning, you wouldn't be available. That's sort of weird. I'm having a hard time exactly buying into that. But I wouldn't be shocked, and we may not know until after the first game locks. And in which case, Eric Pascal is a guy who you use if you're not going to use him. I mean, there's going to have to be fantasy points here somewhere. There's pretty much. I don't even know if there's a way around it.
Yeah, it looks like the reason why the Bates Diop and the San Antonio guys are bumped a little more than they were earlier is I didn't realize this that Trey Jones was ruled out. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, look, all those guys could get there for sure. I mean, Forbes is completely shooting dependent. Lonnie Walker's completely shooting dependent. DeJounte Murray, it can do everything. It probably is a boost to him.
Bates Diop is he could score 5 fantasy points. I mean,
he could score 5. He could score 35 because he can do other things, but he doesn't need to. They still have a lot of guys. It's not like they don't have guys to suit up. You know what I mean? I've got
the guy I mentioned, not Whiteside, White something, not White. Some sounds like Whiteside though. Some
Uh,
guy with that
um,
funny profile.
oh, Wieskamp.
Yeah, Wieskamp, right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, any of these guys, it's possible, but it's just you're just playing roulette, in my opinion, with them. So playing the Murray, Walker, Bates, Diop, they're all viable. All those guys are completely viable. I'm trying not to get too much of it.
Yeah, I have Jordan Clarkson tentatively on FanDuel at 61% owned. And Jalen Brunson at 61% owned as well.
You have who is 61? Whiteside?
On FanDuel, Clarkson at 5,200
Yeah, Clarkson I
and
think will be 85%.
Brunson at 5,300.
Yeah, I think Brunson will be like 94%, 95%.
Yeah, in the bigger stuff for sure.
Yeah. And I'm locking both in, so I'm not playing a lineup without those guys.
Yes, I think that's probably
I can't find a way to do it.
You don't want to play DeJounte Murray at 10-4 on FanDuel?
I mean, you can always say the low owned and Westbrook's cheaper over there, but you can still play them. I mean, you can still do it all. They're both point and shooting guard eligible, so it's really easy to build around them however you want to.
I guess we got to really, I don't want to say X out, but like you said, wait as long as you can and just really just avoid that first game.
Yeah, with the exception of the few guys we talk about, just make sure you have them in the right places. And it's it's funny because you can get a nice little stack there. I mean, if you play one of the Philly 3 guys and then you could play 2 of the San Antonio guys, but I just think like, I mean, what if we do here like at whatever that Utah, okay, Rudy Gay's out and all that, like that's just going to open up more. I'm just always going to be a sucker for usage, and the usage on the San Antonio. I'm sorry, the minutes for the San Antonio guys, like Lonnie Walker's projected to play 32. He could play 22.
Right.
Diop is projected 27. He could play 37. You know, Bryn Forbes projected to play 32. He could play 18, 12.
He could.
Josh Primo, 23, could play 11 or could play 35.
Yeah.
Wieskamp, same thing. One of Eubanks or Lawndale could end up, if Podol gets in foul trouble or is having trouble with Embiid. Then you get the occasional blowout. There's a lot of arguments to be made, but I just think that's the first thing to do is to try to maybe limit your exposure to that game. Would be my advice. But I do have a little bit of. I mentioned I have 11%, 12%, 8%, and of Murray 10% as well.
Right.
So, Portland Cavs game. Yeah, I do. I like Simons. I know Kevin Love feels expensive, but I think he's putting up 50 tonight. And he'll be off the board in the middle game. I really like Kevin Love, and I don't mind the other guys from Cleveland. I don't know. I'm not obsessed with that Portland game. I do like Simons and Little. That's who I like on their side, and I guess Kevin Love would be my play on the other side. Yeah. And, to some extent, we're playing roulette with the Jazz guys a little bit, or I'm going to, but I'm willing to take a shot on Jared Butler at the minimum. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Somebody's going to have to play minutes. Like, and sure, they could get stomped, but I believe in teams that have, good, winning tradition, and they don't tend to get blown out as often, even in these situations. This is an extreme situation, obviously, but I mean, it is interesting. They're only 11.5-point dogs. I'm kind of surprised by that. Actually, I thought it would have jumped up a little bit more. I mean, the under in that game, if you're going to be as heavily invested and you have the easy access, maybe betting the under is a good way to go. If you do think that, because if it blows out, you could see like a 120 to 80 game or something. That's completely possible, and it's got a pretty high total. Considering that one team is missing literally everybody on their team who actually matters, except for one guy, in Royce O'Neal and Clark. I guess Clarkson too. Let's see, guys. Pop in any more questions, and then the Jazz ownership is going to be through the roof. In any high level tournament, the way people play are just going to be loading up on the Jazz. So if you can limit it to 3, then you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Going with 4. I mean, the thing that's crazy is I don't think that many people are going to play Trent Forrest as of right now. But once he gets announced in, I think that might change.
Once he gets announced in and starting, he's just going to get jammed, I think.
Maybe, but it's hard because they can't play all of them, and they certainly can't do it if they do it after lock because people are going to play some Forbes and Walker. I mean,
right.
Bryn Forbes and Lonnie Walker are significantly higher, and Keita Bates-Diop even. Well, he's a little lower owned, but Forbes and Walker are projected to be so much higher owned than Trent Forrest, and I just want to say that I think that's wrong. Like, I think you take the shot on the guy who's going to have to soak up all the usage. When in reality, you could make that argument with the Spurs, but like you have Clarkson and Whiteside, okay, but DeJounte Murray and Podol are more of a baseline, and also Primo can do a lot. Like Primo could end up being the best one of all those guys, actually.
Yeah.
It's just really, really tough, and I would love a starting lineup. I'd love a starting lineup from San Antonio too, because if they start Primo, then he gets to be the chalk guy of the slate, and that definitely could happen. But that also could backfire on them. Yeah, I don't like the Spurs. I just mentioned all the Spurs guys that I have in my exact ownership, so I don't know how much better I can do. I have less interest in them than the field. I'll just put it that way.
For what it's worth, Isaiah Joe, I think, is out.
Yeah, he's out.
Okay.
That's why Korkmaz is even better.
Oh, I see.
I do like Korkmaz, but I don't think I'm going to play him because I would rather play in a later game. I'd rather play Tim Hardaway Jr., who seems to be a little underprojected, in my opinion.
Yeah, really, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. So the Spurs guys, I like I said, I just named them all. I'm below the field on all of them except for Primo. I'm about the field at 10%, and he's in my larger field, but not my big buy-in stuff. Lonnie Walker, Bryn Forbes would be how I'd rank the value, and then I do like DeJounte Murray a lot, but I just think there's so many good spendos. But I do have Murray in one of my big 5.
On DraftKings?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
And did you get bet to any Seth Curry?
No, but I like it. I like him, but just there's no. It just seems such a bad fundamental move to play these guys in the first game.
Yeah.
But he does have upside. We saw it last time out. Curry and even less so, but Tobias Harris. So let's see. The last question was thoughts on Houston guys on FanDuel. Just Porter's okay and Wood is okay. That's all I would play. I do have Wood in a couple lineups on FanDuel, so much better.
Let me see what I got on FanDuel right now. Yeah, I also have 100 of those same 2 guys. Clarkson and Brunson.
Yep.
On FanDuel.
I got all kinds of weird stuff going on FanDuel.
I'll tell you who else I have 100 of on FanDuel. I have 100 of Bobby Portis on FanDuel.
Yeah, I have a lot of Bobby Portis over there too.
Okay.
But I like Giannis too, so I don't entirely want to play them together, but it's fine.
Yeah, this is the one I really like. I like the one with I like the ones with 2 studs over on FanDuel. I like Giannis. I like LeBron.
Yeah, my builds on FanDuel are more. There's only one I have with one stud, but there's a couple that I have that are like I have Harden, Giannis.
Are you able to get 3 of them in any of these lineups or no?
I have Durant, Giannis, and Towns.
Okay. Oh wow, that's really strong. I mean, you don't even need to play that in any. You know what I mean? Like you can play chalk with all that.
I mean, you have to play guys like Javonte Smart or the other guard for Utah.
Yeah, well,
he was a little.
Those are going to be good plays, probably.
you know, there's something to it, but I would rather try to get off. Like, I do like Towns, by the way, for what it's worth too. I just didn't get to him as much on DraftKings because of the position, but on FanDuel you get a tiny discount of him versus Embiid, and maybe that's worth it. I think I might do something a little funny over here and actually try to play, instead of playing smart, I'm going to play. The problem is I can't play Primo there.
Oh, so asking ye shall receive. Not always, but sometimes. You don't get anything if you don't ask. So Adam Perry came in one of the discords and asked if I could, if it was possible for me to do to add Yahoo to projections for both for golf, right? And I looked into it, and it's going to be hard, but I'm going to try it. But what it did remind me to do, which I've been waiting to do all year, and I forgot, was I did talk to my Excel guy, and I enabled my stuff to get Yahoo Basketball. So I am going to start posting the Yahoo Basketball. You mentioned it the other day with one specific play, so it got me thinking about it more. And Adam says he wants to play more, so maybe a couple other people want to play Yahoo too. And it's as long as it's not that hard for me, which it really isn't. I'm going to start posting the Yahoo stuff up there, and I'll start playing myself a little bit and report back and see if it's see if I like it.
Yeah, when it's not basketball season, I'm going to get heavily into Yahoo again. It's just there's too much going on. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to justify spending that much time on the. You know, that's my issue with the Yahoo.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, you only, like we talked about earlier, you only have so many limited minutes and human energy in the day, and you want to allocate that to that which pays you the most money. I mean,
right, absolutely, exactly. I do have Primo in a lineup on FanDuel too.
You really?
Yeah, Primo and Forrest in the same lineup. All right, let's see a couple more questions, then I'm gonna get out of here because I need to dig and speculate on this Utah situation. I will be in Discord until 10 Eastern tonight. We've had some good stuff with the Discord lately, and hit on some good plays late, so it's been nice.
Oh, really? You've had people come in. You've been helping them out with that.
Yeah, like we had the Herder. I ranked Herder #1 the other night when Atlanta, when all the guys, when he was announced not starting.
Nice.
That was a big one that was really paid off because he was 5% owned. Yeah, Butler, I have a little interest in Rashad, but I don't think you need to like. That's where you fade Clarkson if you're going to play him and Forrest or something, just hoping Clarkson only gets 25 or 30 or something, and something like that. It's unlikely though. It's not like Clarkson's going to have an easy time of it. I mean, these Raptors have really good one-on-one defenders, so it's kind of hard to know what to do outside of the. It does feel like Whiteside is hard to fade if he's in. But I would love to know. I would love to get a lineup. So we don't have anything but to speculate right now, unfortunately, guys.
Let me just remind everybody about the weekend. So tomorrow there are 2 NFL games. They don't start until a little bit later. So if you don't get updated projections till later, it's because there's no need to until later. But I'm on top of that, and I'm probably going to try to post the showdowns for that for those slates as well. We'll see if I have time. Then whatever NBA tomorrow I'll post, and then unfortunately I am going to be available for Bobby live Sunday because I had to cancel my trip. So fortunately, I'm going to be available for Bobby on Sunday, and we'll be able to go through late NFL news, and I promise you there will be some. And whatever else it comes up, I'm going to post. There'll be tennis. There'll be LOL not until early next week, but I'm looking forward to that. I know a couple of people are. And hockey throughout the weekend. Just horse racing as I deem appropriate. And we got a lot going on, and we're continuing to hopefully work on the site and spruce it up a little bit. And so wait, this is actually a relevant announcement. When is Discord?
Next week sometime.
Yeah. So if you guys do get, let's put it this way: if you guys get something out of the Discord, and you're not a paying member, you should really make sure that you start becoming a premium member, because it is going to be closed to anybody with premium members starting sometime next week.
That's right. with that announcement, guys, I'll be in Discord. I wish everybody great luck tonight. Let's get it.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
Good luck. All right, Sheets, take it easy, bud.
All right, later.